It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And we'll be watching Aiden O'Connell. He's going to have to air it out plenty this week. It's the Raiders and the Jags. And it kicks off next on Madden NFL 25.
We are pleased, as always, to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Hi again, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn. And, Charles, we look at the Raiders here entering play. They come into this one knowing it's been a while since tasting victory. They've dropped 4 in a row.
Can they remember what it was like to win a game? In these types of situations, you're looking for someone to inspire you, and it doesn't have to be one of your best players either.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Jaguars, they too were losers last week, so they're also hoping to get back in the win column.
Something's got to give in this one, right? Both teams want to start a new...
And we are underway at Allegiant Stadium. Oh, a good return up past the 30. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. So here comes the Raider offense now onto the field. And they will be led out by their 6'3" quarterback.
And the numbers were not pretty. I mean, they don't look right. When you throw 2 interceptions, no touchdown passes, there's no way to really make that work. But I thought there were a lot of positives in watching his game tape. I think he's close to putting on a good performance. Let's see if he can flip those numbers around in this game. And, of course, rally his team to a win.
That to the sideline and incomplete. Boy, they're going to say there's a receiver in the area. That was close to grounding, but it's second down. First carry now for Alexander Madison. And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Third play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5. They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. Pulled in at the 24. A 7-yard return following a punt of 45 yards. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10. So now we'll get a look at the other offensive unit as they come out for their first possession. They're led by their quarterback from the University of Alabama, Mac Jones.
Mac Jones absolutely believed in himself coming out of high school. Went to Alabama despite the fact there are many high-profile quarterbacks already on the roster, and blossomed into a Heisman Trophy candidate in his final season with 41 touchdowns and only 4 interceptions. Steady, consistent as a passer, doesn't have the biggest cannon for an arm, but can stretch the field and lay those passes in on the deep ball.
So the completion good for 6 yards, and it's second down. Off the option, here's Etienne. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. You look at this Raiders defense. They've had their trouble stopping the run, Charles. Currently 29th in the NFL in that department.
Stopping the run, that's been an issue for them all season long. Aren't you glad that you're not coaching the defense right now?
I'm very glad. They said that they've seen it in doses, but very, very small doses.
Yeah, you've got to be consistent. It's down in and down out, being able to play it, understand what you have to get done, and finally stop some people, put them on the ground.
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit.
Still third down.
And the delay of game penalty makes this much more difficult. 3rd and 8. Now Jones. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That's a 3rd down conversion of 24 yards there. Nice play.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run, because we envision them in offenses catch the ball. How much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup. Throwing, Jones. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Straight ahead, Etienne. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. Give him 4 yards there, but still in a big hole. 3rd and long. Looking to throw. Jones. And that is incomplete.
Not sure what you're thinking here, partner, but I believe the officials have done a nice job here getting together and then coming out and indicating that there was a receiver in the area.
Absolutely, and he was in the area. Correct call made, no grounding.
The Cook now on to punt as he gets this one away.
And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line.
The Raiders offense, led by their running back, headed out for the second possession. We show you the NFL leaders in rushing touchdowns. You can see where he's right up there amongst the league's best at finding the end zone. To throw here, O'Connell.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
You look at this Jaguar defense.
Right now they're ranked number 29 in the NFL against the pass, so 4th from the bottom, Charles.
And I think you're going to see some changes in the offseason, whether it's through the draft, free agency, maybe even both. They definitely need some help in the secondary.
9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
Now O'Connell. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have the Raiders first down, and comfortably so, as he gets 5 there on 3rd and a yard.
They'll go Madison up the middle. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6. The numbers for him from a week ago: 15 carries, 67 yards.
They've lost a bunch of games in a row now. They've got to start thinking a little bit differently, maybe a little bit outside of the box. Find other ways to move the football. I don't know if you're going to do it through the air or maybe change up how you establish your run game.
And he'll be pretty well stopped in his tracks. Give him a yard up to the 42. Here's 3rd and 3.
Brings up 3rd and 3.
From the shotgun, O'Connell. That is caught.
And he's got the first down yardage there as he takes it just across midfield. That's good for 9 yards as they convert on the 3rd down play.
The Raiders at 3-11 now on the year. And they come into this one knowing it's been a while since they've had a W. They have dropped 4 in a row.
Let me tell you, when you go a month, partner, in this league, without a victory, it gets tough to come to work every day. And in addition, you start to wonder about your job security as well.
Tyson Campbell up to make the stop. Here's a 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential. But when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
That's to Bowers once again. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
First and 10 at the 26-yard line.
Now whistles here, and I believe one of the Raider linemen might have been moving.
False start. Offense.
The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
Here's O'Connell. A short throw, and that's hauled in by Mayer.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage.
Play action. Now O'Connell. Pass complete right side to Bowers.
And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 13-yard line.
That's good for Las Vegas.
Now a give to Madison. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8.
Going to run with Madison again. And they get him behind the line, so that short gain on first down quickly negated. They give those 2 yards right back, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 10.
O'Connell working from the gun.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
The kick by Carlson is good, and the Raiders jump out to a 3-0 advantage.
So after drive number 3 here, we have a score, and it's 3 points after the field goal.
I would say the feeling out process for both these teams, I'd say it's over, partner. Everyone understands what's going on now. You've kind of probed a little bit. Now you want to start throwing the big shots. First 3 points up on the board could be significant.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM, it always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
The Jags with a football to begin the second quarter as they've got it 2nd and 7.
ETN up the middle, and he'll push forward for a couple to the 34. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play. That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
Back to throw now on first down.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Divine Diablo. And the Raiders are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. Well, he had to fit that into a pretty tight window over the middle. And, Charles, I think they were in zone defensively, weren't they?
They certainly were. A nice read on your part. And sometimes the quarterback isn't fooled between zone and man. Sometimes just fooled by the type of zone that he sees. Because oftentimes those linebackers will vacate and run downfield with receivers. In this case, he played a pure zone and was in the wrong spot for the QB.
A good starting spot for the Raiders as they come up 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
It leads to 2nd and 10.
On the delay, this is Abdullah.
And a good push there defensively as they stop him at the 48. Gain of just 1.
The Raiders on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 9.
And O'Connell now to throw.
Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack.
Joshua Hines-Allen in there for sack number 22 on the year. And, folks, that's just a half sack shy now of Michael Strahan's record of 22 and a half set in 2001.
Here's A.J. Cole now to punt this one away. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. We'll call that a 43-yard punt, 2 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go.
So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
And that one too wide and incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
That's for the former Lion, Josh Reynolds.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. That gain on 3rd down, good for 28.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Back to throw. Jones
Targets and finds Reynolds once more.
And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's 2nd and 3.
At the Raiders' 47-yard line.
Here's a give to Bigsby.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. This will be a loss of 3 and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw.
That's taken in by Duvernay.
And oh, he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
Well, on that punt, we've got a man shaken up. But not what you want to see this late in the season. Medical staff is going to check on him, and we'll step aside for a moment.
Going to begin the drive here with Madison.
Yeah, he was able to shed one tackle but could not get away from there.
5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Off the play fake. O'Connell. That's into the hands of his tight end Bowers.
And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds.
Throwing. O'Connell.
Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Tucker. That'll go for a gain of 7. And it's 2nd down.
The gain of 7 brings up 2nd and 3 at the 33-yard line.
Now it's O'Connell. He'll get the tight end Bowers involved there.
And he'll be stopped right at midfield. He He's up over 50 yards receiving now in this first half. It's a first down. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving.
Delay of game, offense.
Now the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted.
Still first down.
So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game. Running from the shotgun with Madison. And no room that time. Getting it to about the 46. Foyesade Oluwakan made the tackle there from his safety position.
A gain of a yard brings up 2nd and 14 at the 46-yard line.
Delay of game, offense.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
Still second down.
Back to throw, O'Connell. That's to the sideline and incomplete.
Well, he left no doubt about that one because even though he hasn't left the pocket, he's got a receiver in the area, so it's not grounding, even though there was no way that ball was going to be caught.
Now they go screen. It's complete. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for Vegas. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Yeah, he was looking for the check-up bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. The Jaguars getting set to go. The crowd maybe losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy? Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
On the option right, it's Jones.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
From the 42-yard line, here's 2nd down and 3. Running out of the gun with ETN.
And 3 yards there takes him to the 45. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
Delay of game, offense.
So they'll go ahead and accept the penalty.
Still 3rd down.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Looking to throw. Jones.
The throw here right sideline falls incomplete.
The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down. On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt.
Here comes Abdullah on the return.
We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half, one that's featured no touchdowns as of yet on either side.
So his job's a little bit easier for this halftime.
That's caught inside the 20. And he'll get this way down into Jacksonville territory.
So they will wave off the flag and let the completion stand.
Really great job by the receiver fighting through all the contact and still coming down with the football. All that great work in practice being put into the game.
Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Now a 2nd and 10.
He was covered by Tyson Campbell.
Here's O'Connell looking to throw it.
Got a man, and he hits him in stride.
And the Raiders are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
Out of the shotgun, here's O'Connell.
In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12.
Chad Muma fighting all the way through and getting the sack. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's a game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. Back to throw. O'Connell. And it'll be intercepted.
Picked up by Foyesade American. And the Jags are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20.
And as we've seen, points have been precious so far, and they just threw some away on that snap. And look, let's face it, as we advance further into this game, that play will be on the minds of everyone who's watching it. They wonder if this is the turning point. Is this the spot where those points were given away and could cost them a ball game?
The Jags going to go on offense now late in this first half. And with a little under a minute to go, they may try and work their way into field goal range and try to tie up this ball game.
Jones throwing to start the drive. That's taken in, complete to Reynolds. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. And that'll be incomplete. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Looking to throw. Jones. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have a Jaguars first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Now the Jags will use the 2nd of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And he floats one there, incomplete.
Well, this defense is going to have to finish the job. There's still a second half that they have to play. But so far, an absolute total effort. They've disrupted the passing game, stressed the pocket for the quarterback. They forced him into errant throws. Everything they're doing has been executed well.
Touchdown, Jaguars! Josh Reynolds, his 5th touchdown now on the year.
And the Jaguars will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half. That could be an important swing right there. A touchdown in the final minute of the half to take the lead.
And I like the point you just made there. Could be an important swing because now that they have the lead, if they can carry that into the locker room at the half, they'll feel really good about what they accomplished in the first 2 quarters.
Extra point right down the middle. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. So the drive there, 5 plays, 80 yards. And it culminates in a Jags touchdown.
And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The Raiders offense and their running back getting set for this next possession. And as a play caller, when you've got a guy who's running like this, you lean on him and your offensive line. He's had big hole after big hole to run through in this first half. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. But he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. This is Alexander Madison out of the backfield with it. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. And the Jags with 5 in the secondary now on third down. Back to throw. O'Connell. Throw out wide is incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's fourth down.
It's going to be another frustrating end to a drive here. This offense, they've not been able to get anything going in this first half. And now it's going to be time to gather on the sidelines and try and figure out what's going wrong. Who has an idea? Who has a plan? Time to implement it.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. More from you and Charles in a bit. But first, time for a look around the NFL to see what's going on here in the late window. We'll start our tour out in the City of Angels, Los Angeles, where you see the final score there. Bo Nix, strong in the victory as it pushes his guys back above the 500 mark on the year. We'll stay in the AFC North as we head over to Cincinnati to check on the Bengals at home at Paycor Stadium. And they were winners in that ball game over the visiting Cleveland Browns. Joe Burrow, excellent in the win, as his guys up their mark to 11-4 now with 1 game to play. Finally, we're off to Atlanta to check on the Falcons at home at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And they were winners in that one over the visiting New York Giants. Kadarrell Hodge, a touchdown catch in the victory. This has certainly been a fun one to watch so far. We knew this was going to be a battle, and we have not been disappointed. This is the kind of game that could wind up hinging on which side can play mistake-free football the rest of the way.
Okay, Coach, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. The Jaguars in possession of the lead, and they will get the football as we are underway in the second half. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Jaguars ready to get going to start quarter number 3. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
Now a 2nd and 2. A handoff for Etienne. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 10 yards there, good enough for a Jags first down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
On 1st and 10, it's Bigsby. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Looking to throw. Jones. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Divine Diablo. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. So this whole game gets flipped on its ear right there. The interception, return for a touchdown, and this lead changes hands here in the third quarter.
And it certainly felt like this defense had a read on what was going on the offensive side of the ball and said, let's cut down our coverage a little bit. Let's be in a position to make a play on the ball. And, boy, that sure turned out well for them.
Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Well, now how about this return?
And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. The Jaguars offense and Mac Jones making their way back out. And it's been a struggle for him all afternoon. This defense has really done a nice job of making him earn everything he gets, and it's prevented him from getting into any kind of rhythm here today. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. Jones, another shot here after the pick six.
And down he goes, brought down a Raider sack. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
Well, at least it wasn't a turnover like the last drive. You'd think they'd make an adjustment and be ready to make up for that turnover. Instead, just another big play for the defense on that snap.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24.
Here's a give to Etienne.
And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off, and try to chip someone at the second level. You get the sense that they're saying, we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
So a change of possession here on the punt.
And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10.
Throwing to start the drive. O'Connell.
This is caught by Tucker.
And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. A very solid gain of 27.
As they began this drive, I was wondering how they were going to attack since they're playing with the lead. Would they continue to try and push the ball downfield? Well, after one play, it appears that the answer is yes.
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 43. Back to throw. O'Connell.
Short throw caught by Bowers.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
From the 35, here's 2nd and 2. O'Connell now off the bootleg.
Under pressure, and down he goes. Eric Armstead, the defensive end, will get credited for the sack.
Well, this has turned into an absolute week to forget for this quarterback. Multiple sacks, pair that with multiple turnovers. As far as he's concerned, if he ever sees this defense again, it'll be way too soon.
We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a 1st down.
From the gun on 3rd down. O'Connell.
A throw left sideline falls incomplete.
The frustration evident there because he couldn't find anyone on 3rd down, and he left no doubt that he was throwing that one away.
Here's A.J. Cole now. He's been terrific so far. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. Out of bounds and close. The question, was it a touchback? No. They'll say it crossed out at the 2-yard line. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage advantage in field position, and that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first.
Look at this, a tight end carry. And they're able to corral him right around the 8, and that's short of the first down. It's a pickup of 6, but it's not going to be enough. And the punt team's going to be summoned on 4th down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, it makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away.
Abdullah to return.
A 46-yard boot, but just 36 following a pretty decent return of 10 yards. And the Raiders will have a short field to work with as they take over. Throwing to start the drive. O'Connell.
Short throw caught by Bowers.
Call it a gain of a yard, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
A gain of a yard brings up 2nd and 9 at the 44-yard line.
Looking to throw. O'Connell. That's going to be caught. It's Jacoby Myers. So the completion good for 7 there. And that's going to bring up 3rd and 2.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
They'll try to get it on the ground with Madison.
And he is going to have the Raiders first down as this defense unable to hold. It's a 7-yard gain there on 3rd and 2.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Back to the ground on 1st down. Here's Madison to the 27-yard line. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
And they go play action here with O'Connell.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Multiple defenders get to him there, and that is the 6th time he's been sacked in this ball game.
And the Jags, Charles, I think they're in the dime here.
Covering a lot of field.
To throw here, O'Connell.
Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
Multiple rushers break through to drop him for the 7th time this game.
On 4th down, here's Daniel Carlson for the Raider field goal. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. Carlson able to put this one through. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because you know after the sack, there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set here.
See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
To the sideline and incomplete.
A couple of quick incompletions, and now they're just one more away from getting off the field. They've got options now. Could they dial up a blitz here and just drop everyone into coverage to crowd the throwing lanes?
Now Jones. And the Raiders have got him.
Tyree Wilson
able to get him down for a loss of 11. And it brings up 4th down.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Here's Logan Cook now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. That'll be a 47-yard punt, officially 5 on the return. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10.
The home team's offense and Aiden O'Connell getting set to take over once more.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45.
Now O'Connell. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
Part of what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
A throw out wide going to be incomplete.
And when you're in a one-score game in the second half, now's not the time to force the football in the places where you shouldn't. And that's a smart decision to just get that one out of there.
From the shotgun, O'Connell.
And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield.
Well, this is getting ridiculous. 8 sacks now. That time multiple guys get to it.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
1 quarter remains here in Week 16.
This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
Back now in Las Vegas. Welcome back, everybody. As it looks like we are just about set and ready to begin with the 4th. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. This one will sail out of bounds. It'll depend on the spot here. And the side judge says that went out at the 7-yard line.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have. And what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down.
On 3rd and short, they'll try option left. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. A good chunk on the ground on the keeper, 17 yards, 1st down.
I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react, even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL. They're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
Now a handoff to Bigsby.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Throwing, Jones.
Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down.
Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. taken in at the 22. Call that a 46-yard punt with a net of 40 on the 6-yard return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. They'll start on the ground with Madison. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around a training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
On 3rd down, they run with Madison.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage.
61 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries.
1st and 10 at the 43-yard line.
Here's O'Connell.
He's got a man. That's Marshall. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
And these guys certainly are not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the 4th quarter.
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Back to throw. O'Connell. And the Jags get to him as down he goes.
Eric Armstead able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
Well, this has to count as a great team effort today, but this man, he's been at the center of all of it. Really special day for any defense to have this many sacks in a game, even more so for this player. One of the best individual efforts of the season.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. A shotgun handoff. This is Abdullah. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball.
And he is going to have the Raiders 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that certainly appears to be a critical conversion right there, because not only do they keep the drive going, they take valuable time off the clock as well. They have to feel really good about that last completion.
A short throw, and that's hauled in by Mayer.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot.
10 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and inches at the 15-yard line.
On the handoff, it's Madison.
And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. The pickup goes for 13 and sets him up 1st and goal. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what was said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3 and out.
And he's over the line and in for a Raider touchdown.
Alexander Madison, his 11th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Raiders look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter.
The Raiders will line up for the 2-point.
O'Connell's throwing for it.
And he's going to be taken down. It's a sack, and they fail on the try for 2.
Well, they tried to get 2 and ended up getting none because the quarterback had nowhere to go with the ball and ends up getting sacked.
Nowhere to go at all. Great job, though, defensively. They were ready. On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Jaguars again ready to take over on offense. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
That's number 4, sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5.
Reynolds will go in motion right.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Jones.
And that's complete ETN out of the backfield.
And out of bounds across the 15-yard line. And the Raiders call on a nickel set for 3rd down. Looking to throw. Jones.
And they get Jones for the 3rd time in this ball game. Picked off by Trayvon Merrick.
And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. They have to like the position that they are in. 4th quarter, 2-score lead, and now the ball back after the INT.
Throwing to start the drive. O'Connell.
Throw out left, caught by Mayer.
And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage. Tight end has become a bigger and bigger part of the passing game in the NFL, but if you drop the football, that position could get swapped out with a wide receiver in that spot, a running back in that spot. There are other ways they can go if you're not going to catch the ball.
And that's not just his first drop, his 2nd drop of the game. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
The kick by Carlson is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
And now out come the Jags. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. That is caught. Josh Reynolds. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. And that is caught at the 10-yard line. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Back to throw. Jones. This is caught.
Such a tough position to defend near the line, even when you add a second defender, but the big man shrugged off the extra body and made the play call a success.
Quick throw, knocked away, and incomplete.
Passing lanes, tough to come by with so many defensive backs on the field here late in the game. And it's not just the number of bodies, it's their quickness and their agility that makes it tough to complete.
And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Okay, so they got the score. Do you go for one here and save the possible two-point conversion for later?
I think you do, because if you go for two here and you don't get it, that's deflation.
Yeah.
Now you wonder why you're even going for it. Take the easy one now and come back and try and get it later.
Extra point splits the uprights as this gets them back within a touchdown and a two-point conversion. So here we go. They'll need the recovery, obviously, then a touchdown and a two-point conversion to tie. And the hands team for the Raiders able to secure it. And now looking at the clock here, they do have 2 timeouts, but even if they force a 3-and-out, they're going to have very little time remaining.
So that means they've got to be aggressive and find a way to knock the ball free. They've got to come up with it, because they can't just rely, as you noted, on using their timeouts and getting the ball back. They might not have any time to mount an attack, even if they do play it that way. Get the football. That's their mantra.
We got to have 2 hands on the football here as they run on first down.
Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts, as they'll get it with still 1:20 left to go in the game. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8.
He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball.
The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Another carry now for Madison. That'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A big gain there, and that should certainly be enough to put this one in the win column.
That's good for Las Vegas. First and 10 at the 16-yard line.
So this one a victory for the Raiders. So for Las Vegas, the wins have been hard to come by, but they get one here to move to 4-11 on the year. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the New Orleans Saints. Meanwhile, for Jacksonville, it's another loss as they now fall to 4-11. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports.